No, it's been in for a while.
Not one real Mexican dish.
All right, here we go. We're starting, yeah? Kufya test Samad Aleph.
It's recording?
Yes, we're recording. Kufya test Samad Aleph. Yeah? 2 dots about 20, 30 lines down. Yeah?
Yeah.
For those following along at home.
Yep.
What? You've kissed it, yeah. Okay, the first story here. Okay, it's.
Rabbi, you got to fix your camera. We still see your plate.
You don't want to see the salami? I told you you'd rather see the salami than me.
I read all the food, not just the salami. I'm bored of the salami already. Show me.
Yes, you are.
All right. It's not a hard daf, just a little technical. We need all the art scrolls helpful with all the sewing and all that type of stuff. So, but this first story here is very hard to, very difficult to understand. Rav Chisda, 2 dots, Rav Chisda, yeah. So Rav Chisda Havalehu Arisa. Rav Chisda had a sharecropper. Yeah. Tahabatakel, the Yav Takel V'Shakel. So he would weigh, meaning a sharecropper he's working on percentage. So he would weigh a little bit, and then he would weigh more and give it. He would keep some for himself, and some he would give to Rav Chisda. So for some reason, he did something wrong. It's very unclear what he did wrong. Right? But anyway, so Salke, he picked him up, meaning he removed him. Kara Nafshen, he called out himself. It's Safan Latzadik, Chayel Chayte. Safan Latzadik from the word from Safan that we buy the Seder. It's put away for a tzaddik. The chel of a chayte, the wealth of a chayte is going for a tzaddik. Meaning, since he removed him, so now he'll be able to keep his share. Oh, but he's gonna have to split it with another sharecropper. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. Kimat tikva chonav kiyivta kiyeshel eloka nafshay. Right, meaning what's going to be for somebody who's a chonef who kisses up to people.
That's where Khalifa comes from.
That's where kiyivta kiyeshel eloka nafshay. Hashem is going to throw away his nefesh. Fine. So now, what does this mean? This pasuk, Rav Huna, Rav Chisda Charam, or nafshay the nigzal. It's referring to the nefesh. Which nefesh is going to be thrown away? So one said it's the nefesh of the nigzal, Charam or nafshay shel gazlan. One says the nefesh of the gazlan. Mandom or nafshay shel nigzal. If sibki kain orchas kol betzayas nefesh ba'alav yikach. Mandom or nafshay shel gazlan. If sib al tigzal dal ki dal hu. Bishar ki Hashem yorav rivam bekovas kavem nefesh. Right, so don't steal from a poor person, even though he's poor, and don't cause poor people to have tsar, because Hashem's going to fight with them, and he's going to be there for them. All right, that's what that pasuk is saying. Hashem fights for the poor and the needy and malmanas, rich, and all that type of stuff. Bidach nami hoksiv nefesh balav yikach. What does he do with that pasuk? My baal of the hashta. What it means is the baal that's right now. Who's the baal right now? The guy in the ganim that stole it. So Hashem is going with him. He
has a dinner pilot.
He's calling him. He's the baal at that point. It says Hashem is going to steal the nefesh of those who steal. It's coming to explain the reason. Nefesh, because they wanted the nefesh of they stole the guy's nefesh. Okay, it's very hard to understand these psukim. If you steal a shava pruta from your friend, yeah, it's as if you're taking the neshama from him. Right? Shenemar kain orchas kol beitzea botza es nefesh ba'alav anybody who steals, he takes away the nefesh of the person. He's going to eat all your grain and the bread and children. Because of the Yidden who steal and who I don't steal, who they spill clean blood, innocent blood, right? Shaul and the Beis Hadamim who killed the Gevanim. What does this mean with Shaul? Right? Meaning, if you're going to say that all you're doing is taking away his nefesh, but when you steal from somebody, you're only stealing from him and not from his kids. Tashama, even the kids, even the flesh of his kids. That's only where he doesn't pay back. But where he gives back the money, then that's not like taking them away. Tashama, from the how do you call it? From the stealing that they do, right? And chamas is pshat that you steal. We had this before. Chamas is you steal and you pay. All right, Geneva stam you're a ganav, but the chamas is you stealing away. V'chite mahani mili heichad dekavad be a dime. That's only you do a dime. Of a grama loy, good old grama. We get one more grama in here, Akiva. Yeah?
How does that mean a grama?
Because you're not. When you steal from somebody else, right? Then maybe it's not. It's indirect. The damage is indirect.
What should be the nafkamina?
Maybe you're not as when you do grama, you're not as bad. By shol that it was grama.
Only government figured that
right? Well, that's what Gemara says. So that's grama tashama el shol vel beis hadomim al sherhim b'sis hagivayim. That shol killed the givayim. This is what grama is. Shol didn't kill the givayim. He killed the city of Noiv Ira Kehanim. Show you Maspikinland, Mayim and Mazan, because and they were the ones that gave the Givainim their food and their water. As if he killed them. That's the Gemara's raya. Meaning, Shol. Isn't that what we know Rechilas from? Is that what we know this Rechilas from this story? No. That's what I'm saying. No. Something. Okay. Well, the story was that Shaul found out that David was hiding in the city of Noah. Right? Who told him? Achitophel. Doeg. So Doeg. Right. So Doeg. That's what we know Rechilas. I'm just happens to you. That's what I'm texting about because that's the issue at hand in this town about Rechilas. Right. So it's one of the issues. But that's interesting. I'm just thinking about it now because we know about it from this Maisa. Because Doeg went innocently and told told Shaul that David was hiding out there. He didn't mean any harm. He told him a fact. He didn't know what the whole background was, right? And because of that, that whole city was wiped out. That's what the Mefarshim say is that somebody who says Rechilas is going to be the one that says it's guilty. The one that's said about is guilty, and the one that says it, the one that listens, and the one that it's said about also. Now, why should the one that's said about suffer? What they do wrong? He just yented about it, right? Because the whole city got wiped out because of this. So that's when we know we happen to know the story of Rechilas. But either way, the Gemara is saying that he's. The Gemara is saying that it's considered as if Shaul killed out the Givainim, even though he didn't. He killed out Noiv, who supported the Givainim. So that's how you know that even with the Grama, it's considered like if you steal from somebody, it's considered like you are killing them or taking care of them. Fine. Are the Nashim not listening? Because this is important for them not to listen here.
It's a little quiet.
He can take from the women. All right, so Tanur Rabbanan, like Chimin and Nashim Kli Tzemer Yehuda. So women that are selling wool in Yehuda, you can buy from them. Kli Peshton Begalil and Kli Peshton Begalil. But you can't buy from them wine, oil, and flour. All right, why? Because men are not having their wives sell these things. Right?
These items, Dafka?
What? Yeah, these three. Meaning a guy doesn't normally trust his wife. I don't know, doesn't.
Oh, they sell it themselves.
Correct. So if a woman is selling these things, that means she probably stole it. Right? V'leimin avadim, v'leimin on a tinaikis, and you can't. Yes.
Very good. What happened? Unless they go to Jodor.
V'leimin avadim, v'leimin on tinaikis, not from avadim and not from tinaikis. A woman is allowed to sell 4 or 5 dinars worth.
By the eagle, they gave them, that was okay to give them?
What? That the woman took? The woman gave the, it's a good question, right? Well,
Did they give the husband permission or that we didn't, I'm saying, was that?
Mustama not, right? That's good. It's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. That was the least of the issues they had over there. But anyways, correct. Men wore jewelry back then.
I understand, I'm saying the women are not, you know.
The husband owes the jewelry too. Okay, whatever. So, anyways,
from traditional Syrian still put on special jewelry for Shabbos.
Yeah.
For the men. It's an old sword.
The
men.
Okay, so Mecheres Isha ba'arba v'chamisha dina because it lasts this kafa l'rosha. She's allowed to buy a covering for her head. Now I don't know if that means a sheitel. Does that mean a sheitel for who knows how much money, or does it mean just the shmata or whatever? Right? I mean, it's really a kippah. Right? But kulon shamru lahatman. If any of these things say that they're selling it to you, but keep it on the down low, don't say anything, like we said in the Mishnah, then it's also why? Because why are they trying to hide their sale? Must be that they're what? Yeah. So it's gabay tzedakah, and this is a negeya lemaisa. Gabay tzedakah loichen mehen davar mu'at. A gabay tzedakah is allowed to take only a small amount of money from the woman. Avaloi davar meruba, he's not allowed to take a davar meruba, meaning any large donation, a woman is not allowed to make without her husband's permission, because it belongs to the husband, right? And that's the way we paskin. So you can't. Somebody who collects tzedakah and a woman comes and gives a donation. So then, if it's a large donation, he's not allowed to take it because she has to have permission. The shaila is nowadays we let the women spend, right? The husbands don't usually care. But somebody once asked me, so in Shayashim on Yom Kippur, they put these cards. You know, they make an appeal, an emergency appeal, and they put these cards in as a snushim. You know, for like 10 grand, 15, whatever the what? Same as the men. Why are they allowed to do that?
The women fill it out.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Somebody goes to collect.
Really?
So why are they allowed to do that? What's that?
A budget's a budget.
Go ahead, Sam.
No, if a lady would do it, could you not give the money?
It's considered stolen money.
You're in trouble, Zeb.
What?
Bender said it's okay.
It's considered stolen money. They're not allowed to give it. It's not their money.
But they made a nether.
They made another. It's Grada in this week's Hamadiyah in the Choshen Mishpat article. This question is asked exactly. I don't know if they did it because of the daf or not. That a lady went to a thing and got inspired, and she made a $500 pledge, and she comes home and she wants to pay the pledge, and the husband says to her, "Well, you're not allowed to. It's not yours." But she made a pledge, a nether. So now, can she or can she not? Can she be not the nether?
After 33 years.
Yeah, how's it can be made? Yeah, right. That's the
I want Zev to be quiet. Zev. Is he looking?
Oh.
You can't see Zev. I want you to be quiet.
What is this?
Zev, we don't miss you.
I don't know. I don't know I don't know. Whatever. I would think anything more than small change. Anything that's anything. I don't know. If he gives his wife permission, if he gives his wife permission, then it's okay. So I know some place can say that nowadays it's as if they give permission. Meaning women are spending money nowadays. They're not asking their husband before they spend money, as far as I know. If anything, it's the other way around nowadays. Right.
She has her own.
But she has that option.
Money,
she has that option.
So why couldn't she sell her own stuff? She's not
It's her own
stealing.
stuff.
I mean, how do you know that it's she when you're buying from her? How do you know it's not her?
No, but I'm saying she's allowed to keep her own olive. Garden.
But then she has to. Then the husband is not.
She can't keep it there.
Is that a Freudian?
That's right.
Was Olive Garden a Freudian?
Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Okay, but yeah. Yeah, and olive
Goes to Olive
pressers.
Garden.
With the olives, that's what we're talking about right now. But Badadin, Leichem and Zaysim B'mida, the Shemen B'mida. Badadin, from the people that press the olives, you're allowed to buy from them Shemen, Zaysim with a measurement, and oil with a measurement. Avaloi Zaysim B'muad for Shemen B'muad, but you cannot buy from them in small amounts, right? Meaning, because she can't. Again, the whole side here is what can be easily stolen that they could possibly steal, and if it's difficult to steal, then we could assume that they're not stealing it.
We also have a
Right.
riot. We have a riot from Alicia when the Isha
Shunamis?
and she had all that oil she was selling. Is that because she had no husband?
Seems like she had no husband.
I hear. I don't. That's it. I hear. That's a good. That's a good aura. Yeah, I hear that.
Because she has no husband.
That's why she's selling all that oil.
For stealing.
I hear. So does that mean that a woman that's selling, she has to put a shingle out that she's not married in order to trust her?
Maybe she doesn't have her head covered, so that's how they know.
I hear. Okay, maybe.
Women businessmen.
The whole thing changes nowadays. The whole thing has changed nowadays. But by Yom Tov time, you're allowed to buy olives in the upper Galilee, as they would touch it. Bush Limgar.
That lady from Philly who gave away that money stuff at the order of Shivas, what was her name? Famous lady who started all these Shivas here in America.
I don't know. But she was married or she was an almana? I don't know. Sometimes a man is embarrassed to sell by his house. So what do you do if you're embarrassed? So you make your wife do it, right? Okay. Ravina traveled to Mechuzah. Asum Nashi to Bei Mechuzah. Ramu Kamei Kavle v'Shaire. So the Mechuzah women put these Kavle and Shiare. They're types of bracelets and necklaces. Kibbuminai when he was makabla from them, right? So I don't know what they gave it to him for, but Amarli Rabbi what they were giving him, but they were giving him out tzedakah or
He melted it down.
Why would Rashi point out that he's Gabbai Tzedakah?
he was the gabbai tzedakah. So l'chara they're giving him out tzedakah. Okay. So Amarli Rabbi Tosfel Ravina Vatanya gabbai tzedakah makablam and davar mu'at avaloi davar merub. But how do you accept all this jewelry? I guess it was expensive. How are you accepting it from the women if you're only allowed to take a davar mu'at? Amarli Hani lebnei mechuzah davar mu'at ninhu. For bnei mechuzah is a wealthy place. It's considered davar mu'at. So it comes out that it's totally in ratio, like Avrami was saying. Right? If a guy's a billionaire, then a small amount of money that his wife gives could be a lot more. No? See, I don't know. Is it subjective up to each individual or it's a community? It could be.
For a lot of reasons, though.
No, I'm saying in other towns, here you don't see people giving coins for tzedakah, right? Most people give dollars. No,
Well, nowadays
Most tap.
yeah.
whatever. Now it's tap, but in
Shmuley
you
can
daven in Satmar, or whatever it is. The guys they come with nickels, quarters. They got it all lined up, and they just give it out. That's not gonna here. That's not gonna fly.
Because you could have 50 guys in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Right. But right, there's bills.
Okay, next Mishnah, last Mishnah. Moichin. So now this last Mishnah is interesting. This last Mishnah is when you have a repairman, not a repairman. Let's say a launderer or a weaver or a
Clothes or money?
tailor or what's it called, carpenter. You know, you hire the guy to cut up some wood. Now there's always this extra chips of wood. Who does that wood belong to? Does that wood belong to the carpenter, or does the wood have to be given back? Right?
I would have belonged to the carpenter. Yeah.
So it depends what. What? No, but like it's small pieces that the owner doesn't really expect to get it back.
If you do anything with the plumber, they cut the pipe on the plumber.
Correct. So we have to give the extra metal back to the right.
What's the scrap metal belong?
I'll tell you where it's Nageya, because a guy just asked me. A guy just asked me about this a month ago.
A friend of mine just did it 2 days ago. He picked up from a guy. Cuts small pieces left over from very, very expensive, very hush wood. Little pieces, and they use them for art stuff, whatever.
So the shaila is who
Where's
gets to
Andy?
keep it.
Andy's not on. Andy does that. He makes all this wood stuff.
Right.
Oh, from there.
One
second.
second.
If you're watching this on YouTube, we're talking about you.
Terrence,
Um,
any different than a
Here's
program
the shot.
extra
I'll tell you what
piping?
it's more. It's like
Extra outlets, very different. Not related.
Yeah,
Very
no,
different.
then you go push it
Very
to the next job. Son.
Yeah.
A caterer. Who gets to keep the leftovers from the caterer? That's what you just said. Somebody asked this to me a month ago.
Unless you ask him, he will not.
It's like,
So
Our-
that's
our
the
mothers take it
question.
home.
What's
You have to ask him, or otherwise.
It's
he's-
our
mothers take it home. Terrence, tell mommy I just mentioned it. Huh?
They already put it in the contract.
Right.
it may not have to be in the contract. What is the because the halacha we're going to see from this mission and the subsequent Gemara.
Don't think I'm watching.
It's totally in what's the norm of that particular not locale necessarily. Locale, yes, that industry. Well, it's an industry standard, right?
It's an standard to take it home.
That's the question. Well, who gets the leftovers from the caterer? Does the caterer keep it, or does what the caterer keeps it?
Whether you like it or not.
Unless
Caterers-
otherwise,
As a consumer, we hope that not.
Most caterers more often than not keep it, and whether they resell it or whatever they do.
So again, it's totally in what the industry standard is. If the industry standard is that the caterer keeps it, then he gets to keep it. If it's not, then he can't keep it. Right? You could be talking about stealing.
There are other parts of it though, because let's say they ordered 250 meals, a lot of caterers bring 300, whatever, because more people show up. They only charge 250.
So right, so that's another thing.
there's-
So
there
the
are
extra
other
that they bring, for their peace of mind.
Yes and no. There's some of this stuff is extra above and beyond the contract.
Anyway, so that's basically the modern part of the sugya. So Meichen, talk the Mishnah, yeah, 5 lines up. Meichen, soft things, Shakovis Maitzi. Somehow when you're doing the laundry, you get like, I guess this is what did we say the other day? Ball like lint balls or something, right?
Yeah.
Lint balls. I guess you can gather it together, make yourself some clothing if you
Fire starter.
not in the 5 towns, okay?
I don't know. You can use it for fire starter. I don't know about clothes.
Well, I don't know. Well, that's what happened. So Meichen Shakovis Maitzi Harei Elu Shaloi. So the Meichen, I'm sorry, that of the kovis of the guy, the dry cleaner, right, belongs to him. Vasairik, and the guy that so the stuff that he combs Maitzi Harei Vasairik Maitzi, right? The Syrik is Teasler, right? What's a Teasler? No, we had it a couple days ago.
It's like teasing
The Little Mermaid.
It's a thistle head. It's not really helping our
I
English.
know it's back.
It was a teaser. It's a thizzler.
Yes.
Pashka's candy.
Right, that's exactly the muscle. I was trying to remember the muscle. We had it a few weeks ago. The guys that pump the strapples up, right? They want to,
Those aren't
They water those when they grow.
whatever. So those guys that are teasling, so you'll end up with, I guess, extra strimel hairs. Eventually, I imagine, I don't know either, but eventually you can make yourself a strimel, maybe.
It's not a hoyachal like that one.
Listen, I would say like this: you can make yourself if you go into a Chassidish place and take the Gemaras, you can get a fake beard out of all the hairs that they put in the Gemara.
That was the original Mikvah.
I'm just saying that you could. Anyways, Basarik Moitzi Harei Lusha Balabais. That's all. That goes to the Balabais. Koivis Naitel Gimel Chutin. See Vehain Shaloi. The guy that does the laundry. The guy that does the laundry. There's 3 extra strings that are in the clothing. So those 3 extra, that goes to the cleaner. Yes, and we can more if there's more than 3 extra strings, it goes to the balabais. And if it's black on white, he takes everything and he could keep it. So a tailor who left an extra string hanging, or if he left out a piece of cloth that's 3 by 3, that goes to the balabais. Okay, now, so that's all laundry stuff, clothing stuff. The last line here, what a charash takes away with a matzah. The art school teaches that an ADZE. I'm not even gonna. Rachamim is gonna scream at me whichever way I pronounce it.
It's a cutting tool.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I agree. I don't know.
Axe.
What?
It's an axe.
And it's basically like an axe. An axe. Right. Well, what's the question is what's the next one? Anyways, Harei L'Shaloi. What comes off in this ads is his ubikshil, but an axe, shal balabayas. That's a balabayas. Meaning the bigger the way I understand, the bigger the pieces are, that goes to the balabayas. The small pieces don't. And if it's being done right next to the balabayas, even the yeah, I don't know why they're touching it as sawdust. I mean, the sarim I thought is the little like toothpicks. Okay, it goes to the balavais. But basically, again, the same rule. It depends on industry standard, what's expected and what's not expected, and that's how you have to go. So, you can take soft things, whatever these things are. We'll call them lint balls from because they're his. And the kaivas can take the 2 strings. I'm assuming these strings are like in the suits. Sometimes when in the what do you call the vents? Sometimes come with
in the ceiling.
those you have to tear those. Well, the pockets.
The guy that's checking.
No. It's about the pockets. Yeah. They sew it with something. So that extra string, I don't know if I'm right, but that's something along those lines. Who gets to keep that string? You bring it to the cleaners. Who gets to keep that string? Obviously, market for that. Okay, so we're talking about back then when there's a market for it, right? So the 2 of them, he could take Vein Shaloi on Talmud Beis now. The Lo Yatel by Yosem Mishloisha, but he can't put in more than 3, right? The Lo Yisroi Kabeged Lishsiyai, and he should not comb a beged according to the chassis, right? What do you call it? Chassis and Arab, vertical. Chassis with Arab, right? You have chassis is vertical. And Arab is that way.
Horizontal.
Yeah. Ella la'arvoi, right? But he has to go horizontally. Okay, you have the pictures in the art scroll. Most of the oil has the art scrolls. Okay, umashvinu la'arvoi. And when he stretches it out, it's going to the length. He's basically talking about when he's taking the beged and he's stretching it out to make it proper, etc., etc. So then that's the way he should do it. Not to the width. And if he wants to pull it up to a tefach, he could do it, right? Meaning he's taking this guy's fabric, and who says what the tailor? I guess it's a tailor, weaver, the teasler, whatever, whatever this guy's doing. If he stretches the garment and then he has to cut it, so now is he responsible for that? Did he cut off too much? All that type of thing. But you said 2 chutin. We said, and the Mishnah says 3. Like kasha habalimi habiktini. One is talking about very thick strings or threads. Habiktini. One's talking about very thin threads. Okay. You're not supposed to comb the beged according to the width, only to length. But Tanya, if we learned the opposite, So like kasha habiglima habasar. One is talking about by a garment, and one is talking about by a coat, right? So meaning again, depending on whether the guy is designing a shirt or a coat, etc., etc. So that's what it's going to be talia. Fine. And you cannot put into it more than 3 strings. Stitches. Yeah, so Bayer of Yirmiyah, thank you. When it says that he's meaning, what's a stitch? There's a big, deep shiloh. What's a stitch? Is a stitch one way or 2 ways? Right? When we're saying how many stitches you can put in there, is one way a stitch, and then when you pull it back the other way? What?
Depends how you
a lap, right? Exactly. How do you use a lap? Right. If you bet a guy how many laps you can do in the pool, is a lap one way or back? Very good.
There we go.
Who? The Bakathon. Very good. Right. It's twice. So we say teku. Yeah.
Why is it different here than in Hilchos Shabbos?
Why would it be different here than Hilchos Shabbos?
Yeah.
Hilchos Shabbos, it goes with stitches.
What is a stitch? It's the same kasha in Hilchos Shabbos.
I don't. Do we not? I don't know. I don't remember what we say.
Machlokes there if it's 2 or 3. Here it's 1 or 2, and it's a teku.
I guess mitzad the dine moment is Shabbat. It's a take.
Cooking vibes. Shabbos. Is it per
No, here the shaila is 1 or 2. There the
Right.
shaila is
The
2
per
or
hole?
3.
One side 1 and then 2.
That's what I would think. No, I don't know. I gave up on fully understanding this at all. I don't know. Gershon, I hear. Fine. I just did I do that? No. Lakasha habik lima. One is talking about with a coat, and habib yoine. One is talking about with a belt. Right. So a belt, nobody really sees it, so you have more. Leeway. You don't take from the guy who's combing. You're not allowed to buy from a guy that we call him a teasler. If the teasler is selling these soft things, you're not allowed to buy from him because it doesn't belong to him. But if it's in a place that it does belong to him, like him, you could take it from him. But in all places, you're allowed to, if you buy a pillow from him, that you're allowed to do my timer. So this concept we were having difficult with throughout the whole Masechta, understanding it. Kanenu b'shino, he was kind of with a shino, meaning by taking all the soft things and making into a pillow. So once he's mishane it, he's a crook. He's a crook, right? But he's kind of it because he changed it. So since he changed it, it becomes his. And then mainly he's allowed to sell it. What, to make it into a pillow?
I've messed it up.
What?
It's the same stuff.
You put the cash, you put mattress.
Yeah, the stolen cash into the. I mean, yeah.
And here it's so pashut. It's a shini achayzel briyasai.
Well, that's what Rachamim is saying. Rachamim is asking the same. Rachamim, you have Gershon's agreeing with you. Rachamim just changed his mind, Gershon.
I'm just glad he said it first.
He didn't. I said it, but all right. Okay, Torah about ain't life in me. What?
It's a suffix anyways. Let him keep it.
It's a suffix.
It's
a suffix with the sheen. You mean because it's a suffix? Why is it a suffix? Isn't it totally in the industry standard?
I guess it's a suffix. If this
No,
is
we
stolen.
don't know that he's a Goslin.
Right, we don't know it's stolen.
You don't know. Maybe he bought it. That's what you're saying. I mean, the whole thing is a suffix. Okay, that's interesting. Talking about ain't like in Megardi, you cannot take from a gardi, from a weaver like Irin. This you really need to have, the what they call the loom. Yeah, you have to know the whole deal there. So you're not allowed to buy from a gardi like Irin, for like Nirin, for like Punklin, for like Shiuri Pekiyas. Have a like command begging menumar erev v'shesi tvi v'arig. But you are allowed to buy from him a clothing that's spotted, and the threads and the different types of threads, right? Meaning again, Tully in what's easy for him to steal, what's not. Amri hashta tvi shakil. So we're saying that if it's spun, threads that are spun, you're allowed to take from him. Orug mibai, that it's woven. Do we need to say? So Gemara my orig. So what's orig tiki? Right, it's wool, right? That's made from unspun. It's not spun. So Tanrabanan ain't like him in atzeva. You can't take from a dyer, from a guy that dyes clothing like isis, right? Not anything that's used for testing, but like dugmois, and not samples, but like tlushim, shaltemer, and not the pieces of wool that are torn off. I would like him in begit savua tvi begadim, but you're allowed to buy from him colored clothing and spun clothing. Hashta tvi shakel begadim ibai. So again, the same kasha. If you're allowed to buy things that were spun already, it's in a whole beged. You have is a chiddush. What's the chiddush? My begadim. So what's begadim namtis? That's felt. Felt is something is not spun, like a hat. There's no fibers in a hat. It's not spun. So that could also make a difference. Right? So yes, you press it. Right? You press it. So that can also be not makabel tumah. We'll see when we get to tzitzis. Talking about nice and iris la'abdan. If somebody gives skin, it's not skin. Hides. Thank you. La'abdan hakitzoin v'atzlushin, the ones that are cut off. The pieces that are torn off. That belongs to the balabayas. But things that come off when he washes it, that goes to the tanner, right? Okay, why that is, I don't know, but that must have been the minig. Fine. If it's black on white, he's called a katra. Somebody who does the laundry is called a katra, and the katra shagale, and he takes the small pieces that he cuts off. He takes for himself. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, hakol oil leminian tcheles. Oh, so here's another practical thing. Yeah, I don't know if that's
Everybody's saying goodbye to David.
Isn't she watching right now?
Yeah. Some of you that call oil leminian tcheles. Everything, everything, all threads count for tcheles. The Yitzchak Bri, but Yitzchak, my son, kapit alayu. Yitzchak, my son, is makbid on it. Meaning, if you have all these little extra strings hanging off the beged, so there's a shear where the tzitzis has to hang off the beged, not more than it shouldn't be lechatchila more than from the end of the thumb to the knuckle, right? And what's the shear the other way? The shear, the maximum is I don't know, 2 fingers. I don't even remember. Meaning the hole off the corner, right, has to be a certain amount. Now, if you have these extra strings that are hanging there, like most people's talesim, the talis, the fringes on the talis. So is that counted or is that not counted? Tassels. There we go. Tassels. So the tassels on the talis, that counted. If you notice, the tassels always end by the corner because of this. Right, because of this too. That's why the tassels end, right? You know, now when we're bored during kedusha, we look at the guy's tassels and say, why does this tassels look like that? Now we know, right? So you don't want them at the end because you want to have the shaila, how far to make it, right? So he said. So Rabbi Yehuda says it counts. Yitzchak bri kapit alayv. See, back then the kids got much more religious than the parents, right? So Yitzchak, my son, he's makbid. He cuts off all the strings, so he doesn't have any shaila whether that's considered part of the beged or not. So a chayet, he leaves over one string. So meaning he sewed something, and you get it back. Let's say he sews something onto the clothing. Now there's a little extra string hanging. Who does that string belong to? The tailor or the owner? So Kamma litvar, how much is enough to make another stitch? It means the size of a needle, a needle outside of the needle. So what does that mean? So Yibailu, that's a Gemara Shaila. Malay machat v'chutz l'machat kimeloi machat. When it says a needle, a full needle, and outside of the needle, the length of a needle, meaning doesn't mean that it's one full needle's length, which I don't know what that means, because how do you know how long the guy's needles are unless it was a standard needle size? Or it just means a needle plus a little bit. So a chayet that leaves over a chut less than he could actually sew anything with it, matlis or a shmata, that's less than 3 by 3. Bisman shabalabayis makbid alayin. When the balabayis is makbid on it, a reilu shabalabayis belongs to the balabayis. Ain't a balabayis makbid alayin. If he doesn't care, then a reilu shalai. Then the tailor can take it. If you say that it means a needle's length plus another needle's length, what? Fingers. What? No, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you how I know. After many years of pure Amaratzis, and it's still Amaratzis continuing, Shalosh Zachar or Nekeva? Shalosh is Nekeva. Shalosh is Nekeva. Why? I have no idea why they had to do this and make it like that. Shalosh is Nekeva. Shloisha is Zachar. So when it's Tvachim, it's Shloisha. When it's Etzba'is, is in the female, it's Shalosh. That's my little cheating thing that it took me many a year to figure out. I would love to know why they had to do that. This is Aaron Horowitz's one of his pet peeves. Only one? Yes. Well, I said one of them.
One of the many men.
Okay. Okay, good. Right. Anyway, so yeah, so if you say it's that amount, meaning if you say the extra string that he left there is that amount. So less than that, it's chazi l'sichsa. You can make stitches with a whole needle's length of extra string. You can stitch things. So if it's all it is an extra little bit. So what is he going to possibly do with it? Right? It's a full machat and chutz l'machat, the length of a machat. Shmamino, that it means that the extra is an actual extra, what do we call it? Needle's length. Okay, masha chorosh. So now what about the chorosh? So Uramin, I'll ask you a question. So chorosh here again means a carpenter. Uramin, I'll ask you a stira. Masha chorosh moitzi b'matzad b'andisik b'megera. Anything that the chorosh leaves over from the ads. Adzi.
It's basically
You pronounce the E?
Smooths out the wood.
Ads? Yeah. Okay.
Let's call it an axe. It's
An
a small axe.
No, because we.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever it is, if you use that one, then whatever wood comes out of that thing goes to the balabais. That goes to the balabais. So it's a stira because our Mishnah says it's the opposite. So Marava, Ba'asu, the Tanadidan, Ikatarti. In our the town of our Tanas town, there's Tarti Chatzini. There's two types of tools. The Rabsi Karele Koshel, the bigger one's called an axe, Ulizadrasi, and the small one Karele Matzet, it's called an adze. Ba'asu the Tana Bra, but the Tana of the Braisa, Chadhu the Ika, there's only one, they only had one type of tool there, the Karele Matzet, and that's called an adze. Right? So Mamela, our Mishnah can be a little bit more specific about what can go to the balabais and what can go to the carpenter, right? But when the Brisa says it, it's talking about much larger tools, and Mamela, the wood is much bigger, so therefore it's going to go to the balabais. Fine. What was this talking about? Right. If he did it by the balabais, meaning if the carpenter is working in the balabais' house, then the balabais keeps everything. Meaning it's one thing if the carpenter brings the wood to his house and he works in it, so he can keep some of the wood. But if he's doing the bookshelves in a person's house, then he can't just take all that wood and leave. He has to leave it for the balabais. Right? So Torah Avanim. Mistate Avanim. So we haven't talked about stones, right? So that the Brisa talks about. Mistate Avanim ain't them b'shum gezel. The people that smooth out and chisel out stones, there's no gezel there. Mepaske lanes, those that trim trees, mepaske gefanim, they could take it. Yes, they could take all the leftover. That's this week's parsha, right? Moshe Rabbeinu got to keep the luchas, yeah. Mepaske gefanim, those that do the grapevines, menakve higi, and this is all trimming of the thorn bush, menach shizrayim, and plants, idra yerakas, vegetables. There's much balabais makbid aleim. When the balabais is makbid, yesh memeshum gezel, there is gezel. Ain't balabais makbid aleim. If the balabais is not makbid on them, harei l'shaloi, then he gets to keep it. So I don't know which one's the default. Is there a default here? It says when the balabais is makbid, it's gezel. The balabais is not makbid, then it's his. So, and the balabais, what? You have to ask the balabais?
Maybe society also.
That's what I'm wondering. So he's saying each place is going to be dependent.
It seems that it's specific to the balabais.
Oh, first it starts and says, if the balabais is makbid, then there's gezel. It's mashma that the default is that it's not. Meaning the default is he's not makbid.
I would think that that's true. The default is he's not
Yeah.
makbid.
Doesn't
say whatever word you want to use.
Okay, I don't. It says, but when the balabais is makbid, then is gezel. The mashma that the default is that he shouldn't be makbid. No, or maybe I'm wrong. No, okay, I'm wrong.
Yes, 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 yes.
Oh, Gershon agrees with me. Gershon agrees with me. What?
Logically, that makes sense.
What?
What you're saying is logical.
That's what I would be mashma. But then the
The
problem is
only
that,
thing,
yeah.
the only thing they're useful for is compost. So the owner, the balabayas, will tell the gardener that I have a compost pile and put everything there. If he doesn't say that,
Maybe it's more. Let's say it's more than that. I don't know. It's more than that. I don't know.
More than what?
Then the next line, and the next line is Mashra Ein Balabayas Makbal and Harei Elushalai. So yeah, okay, I hear what the Olam's saying. That it's really up to the Balabayas. Okay, I don't know. I hear the deal. Either way, Vita. Tomer Rabbi Yehuda cautious. The Chaziz.
Balabais can change his mind also.
Could kick everybody out.
You can, yeah.
No, but I'm saying depending on his.
There's a difference between Makbid and
Avi's giving you.
I wish I was the Balabais.
Avi's
That's all I can
trying
say.
to feed you your medicine.
I learned from you. What'd you call it?
when the
They call it Qatar.
when the Brisa says Einay Makbid, that is the default.
Yeah.
Makbid needs something to be said. Einay Makbid doesn't need anything.
Right.
So
I hear.
the default is Einay Makbid.
I hear. Okay. Okay, very good. So Amar Ravina. I'm sorry, I skipped. Amar Rav Yehuda. Koshes v'chaziz ain't behem mishum gezel. Hops, no beer, yeah. V'chaziz, right? And some of these the ain't behem mishum gezel, which is quite interesting. What does it mean? There's no gezel. So it means you can walk into somebody's field and you could take it.
Didn't we say does that mean I can walk out when you magic?
That's what it's out. Right? Yeah.
Didn't we say in the first paragraph that you could? We'll see how far you get.
Yeah.
But see, Yaakov,
Yeah.
how could you have to be magic? Didn't we say chaziz is something that you can be magic?
I don't even know if I don't know. Yeah, chaziz is shachas shel tvua.
It's not fully grown.
It's not fully grown.
But
Correct.
we said that if you're growing it for that purpose, it's considered a hezek. You can be high for regular.
Oh, you think that's what it's referring to? That it could be damaging? Ah, okay, I hear that. Very good. I hear that. Kasher v'chaziz ain't b'mishum gezel. Ba'asher the kapti yesh b'mishum gezel. But if it's in a town that they're makbid, then there is gezel. So again, this one's very clear. It sounds like the default is it's not gezel, right? Unless you know that the town puts. Who just asked me? Somebody just asked me if he's allowed, if a building is allowed to say that you can't go into it in the rain. Are you trespassing? What was in Negea? Somebody asked me yesterday. Is it trespassing if you walk into somebody's house? Just stop for no reason, or on his yard, or does it have to say no trespassing?
Doesn't have to say it.
Doesn't have to say it. Doesn't have to say
This question?
Depends which house.
Private property.
Private property.
If someone's house is private property.
You have to have a sign. That's I don't know what's halacha.
You need a sign.
Need a sign?
You need a sign by commercial property. I had this by the mikveh one time. That someone came and the cops came and they said you don't have a sign.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Okay, so that's American law. I don't know what the halacha says about it.
Did you get the sign for the mikvah? No shoes, no shirt, no service.
Yeah. Okay. So Omar Ravina. So Ravina said,
I don't. Isn't there the definition?
We want to finish up here.
Who?
Isn't that the definition of the word makbid?
What?
So the default is not makbid.
Yes. Right.
That is every time anywhere it says makbid, the default is
Correct.
makbid.
Correct. Yeah. 100%. Okay. Mata Machsia and Mata Machsia Asa the Kapti. I don't know why the Gemara chooses to say this, right? Why do you have to say Mata Machsia? Who? I mean, okay, Mata Machsia, they're not makbid. Why? Makam behemas. Who Rashi says? Very interesting marsha on this Rashi. Mata Machsia, Makam behemas. So that's the end of the Masechta. The end of the Masechta says, right? It's a what? Mata Machsia Asher the Kaptiu. Mata Machsia is a place that's makbid. So look at the last Rashi. The last Rashi. We're going to finish with a Rashi because the Marsha says what? Mata Machsia Makam behemasu. It's a makam that's where the animals are. The trichin lamira toiv. The reason why they need, why is it not hefker? Because they need this growth, whatever this growth is, they need it. They need good growth. That's a Masha. Why is Rashi saying what they need it for? Bottom line is the Mata Machsia that makbid because normally a Masechta is supposed to finish with something toiv. And this Masechta does not finish with something toiv, which so no, it's a raya fakert. It's a raya because we're going to look at all of. So it doesn't end because we look at Bava Kamma, Bava Metzia, Bava Bas is one big Masechta, but Rashi's putting in there. The Marsha says Rashi's putting in there that the last word in the Masechta should be the word toiv.
There we go.
Okay, so
I saw that somewhere.
yeah. So and just before we do the Hajj, and thank you to Peretz and Rochi and Aaron Kaplan and everybody.
Thank you.
Peretz for the Zoom and this whatever. Maybe Yavin would say it's toiv. It's a house that's toiv. It's a house that's toiv, and he should continue to use his house for toiv.
Very good.
Then we should only have Basuras Tais. But the Tillim we're going to do what after, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Hadran Allah Chagayzel Basa. After the Siyum, we should do it after the Siyum or now.
Now. Do it now.
Balabas says to do it now. We'll say Pay Gimel. Okay, Pay Gimel.
Because my phone is keep buzzing.
We can't have that bird. The iPhone dictate. Okay.
Shame is more also.
Hold on.
You'll still catch up to me.
Shim as well as off Elim Adom Ilach Atechrash V'Tishkait El Kinei Vecha Yemon Mesanecha Nasura Shalom Chayirim Usoy V'Yisrael Tzvat Zvunecha Amar Luchu and Achidim Goy V'Lay Yisach V'Shem Yisrael Oy Kinoi Lev Yachta V'Lecha B'Risif Roisu Halei Adam Yishmael Moya Bagrim Kvov Amen V'Amalek Leshes Yoshvitzar Gamasher Nilva Imam HaYisrael V'Nei Letzela V'Salem Kimidyon Kisisuk Yom Machakish and Nishvadu Ve'Endor Hidor V'Adamash Shisem V'Nedivem V'Koyev V'Zev V'Zev V'Samon Konet Zichema Asher Amar Nishalom V'Yisnois Elim V'Layah Shisem V'Kagal V'Kash L'Fnei Ruach Keish Tavar Yorach Lovat L'Hait Harim Kaintir the famous Arecho Savasco Sivalem Alef Name Kalim V'Achshim Chadinoi Yivoshu V'Bolo Ader V'Yachru V'Yavedu V'Yedu K'Atashim Chadinoi L'Vadecha El Yorah Kol Aretz Achinu Kol Beis Yisrael Asunu Batzara V'Shiva Hem Devim V'Yom 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 Hashtaf Ha'Galavas Ma'Kariv V'Neymar Romein. You're going to say the Kaddish, yeah? You know,
Give you a head.
you can still say the Kaddish.
You say the Kaddish.
If you're uncomfortable with saying it, no, you should say it.
No, you should say it. You should say it.
Hadron Allah Hagayzel Basu Sikul of Sechta Bava Kamma. Hadron Allah Hagayzel Basu Sikul of Sechta Kamma. Hadron Allah Hagayzel Basu Sikul of Sechta Bava Kamma. Hadron Allah Sechta Bava Kamma. Hadron Allah Hadron Allah Sechta Bava Kamma. Hadron Allah Sechta Bava Kamma. Let's say Hadron Allah Sechta Bava Kamma. Hadron Allah Hadron Allah Sechta Bava Kamma. Hadron Allah Let's say Hadron Allah Sechta Bava Kamma. Hadron Allah Sechta Bava Kamma. Hadron Allah Sechta Bava Kamma. Hadron Allah ليس شيء من أقصى بابا كامل ليس شيء من الله بعمل ده ولا ناس يرى تم في ناقة دينا يلنا بلا بسنة شتى سراسكم من السنة ولا مزاج سيئة مرة لا بابا خلينا بابا رمي بابا خناخر بابا خير بابا مرة بابا رافر بابا رافر بابا سوق بابا هذا بابا Torah Papa. Haram now the name of the Israel في اسمه قبيس سمنيه كلنا نعرف تسير وتسير يوم قبيس إسرائيل كلنا يدش ما الله يسر ساق لش ما ميلا كمان تساق قال يجي مسامح كل ما الله يبش الله يبش كافي ده مسامح قال متعدد أبدا في أمين أمين سلام ما يدي من أخذ في ناخذ أيضا ولا بسين السانتو كانوا يشبه سبيش السانتو كانوا يشبه ترى أنا مش كيم مش كيم أنا مش كيم بدر تار مش كيم ترى متين أنا ما بين أنا كم صار بهم بين كم صار أنا ولات مين ولات أنا ولات مخيل مبا سيم ولات الشخص شنو بعت ليم تريدين تبغى شخص عن شيء دم مرة لا يأخذ سوي يمين بني أفتح باخ يرى تاين لفناخ هذا إلى هاي كشيم شو ستاني السايم بسبب بكام كان تزن العصر ما سوى السفر ما خين السايم دول ولا لا مدش ما بالعصر بكام بس قادر بيسامة تسبب يا أبا خصوص خلاص تنام هبرام يعمل لي زاري شلي تمشى ترمي فيه في زاري هذا علم سكاين بي بس هذا خو تارخ أيسا بشاخ بخوتش مع هذا أساس تسيخه كي بي يربو يوم آخر بيرسيف الخاش ناس خايم أيرخ يوم بيمينه بسمايله إيش الخبايل أدنى إسلام يتين أدنى بريخ سماي باش الله Amen.
حلقنا نقرأ من عرب للا سبب حلقنا دي إسماعيل أسري نكري شبرخو ما خسبي كري بخير خانم ميخانم هيدا بيس سوام بعد لازم يفرزين برامي وكان بكدام أبو نشماي ورابي مرامي نشماي بخيم تملين وكويس رابي مرامي سشون برما برحمة سشون لين وكويس رابي مرامي
What happens after 7 years? Go around again.
Yeah,
No, we better let this over here. We better let this.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, Natalia. What? We want to start? We'll start. Okay. Well, good. How's it going, Hal? Good to see you. Thank you for coming.
Aaron.
Yeah, Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. It's good to see you.
Yeah, same here. Oh, unbelievable.
The tefillas in the siyum should be Mekoyim.
Man.
Whatever.
You're always on.
Unbelievable. Oh, I'm still eating regular.
Mazel tov, Reb Tzvi Yaakov.
Mazel tov to you. Mazel tov to you.
Ritz Hashem many more times. Shas.
Amen.
Many times Shas.
Amen. By you too. In good
Ritz
health.
Hashem one day will actually understand it.
You should know that there's a shame oilam. You know this shame oilam Chavetz Chaim about not understanding things?
No.
I'll send you a screenshot of it. It's unbelievable.
Okay, thank you.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. If I would darshan, I would say it, but I don't darshan. So.
Yashikayach for everything.
Shkoyach to you. Wouldn't be the same
For
without.
You keep me alive.
All right. Baruch Hashem. Not me. Doilam.
You.
Yeah.
Also,
now.
you.
Oh no.
Well, that's dessert right there.
Now we're gonna have dessert.
Now you're talking.
Eretz. Eretz. Have a little extra piece for me.
We don't miss you. We don't miss you.
I don't
Minor,
either
there's
anyway.
no leftovers. What? Who has a dog? Jesse, you have a dog?
Jesse has a dog.
Yeah, but that's bigger than just a dog.
Anybody want dogs?
Mazel tov Eilim. Many more.
Amen.
Mazel tov, I'm going there.
All tov.
Okay, Zaga.
Mini, not my